First of all, thank you all for having me this evening on this wonderful, cool evening we're having in January. I'm a criminal justice major from Sam Houston State University. I thought growing up I'd come back home and run for sheriff, but God had other plans in mind, and now we're state representative by the grace of God. And so I appreciate y'all's support in the past. I hope I can earn it this time as well. I've passed a lot of legislation pro-law enforcement. I want to continue that service. Currently, I'm endorsed by TMPA, CLEAT, Houston Police Officers Association, Houston Police Officers Retired Officers Association as well. And so, but I want to thank y'all for your support during the legislative sessions that you all have come and testified on certain bills that I've authored and able to get passed through the Texas House and also through the Texas Senate and onto the governor's desk. And couldn't do that without y'all's support and y'all's testimony and also your expertise. Y'all are the ones on the front lines. And so thank y'all all for everything that y'all do. And it's my honor and my privilege to be your advocate in Austin.
Thanks. What professional experiences have prepared you for this position?
Thank you for that question. So I'm a banker, everyday banker, but I'm also able to do this as a full-time position as well. And so I love giving back to our community. I've been doing this since 2015. I was first elected in 2014. And the first legislative session was in 2015. I provided with you tonight a list of bills that I've either authored and passed, co-authored, co-sponsored, or sponsored, joint authored, joint sponsored of pro-law enforcement bills. Many of them are CLEAT endorsement bills that they were pushing that we got across the finish line. I believe my record speaks for itself. I back the blue 100%. Pro-law enforcement, you have that list in front of you tonight of my record.
Thank you, sir. Once elected, what goals do you have that will assist law enforcement?
Absolutely. Once elected, I will continue to represent you in that capacity. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's my honor and my privilege to go to Austin and advocate for you and your agency, all law enforcement across the state of Texas. I plan to continue to do that. I plan to continue our wonderful working relationship that we've had. Many of you have my personal cell phone number. I'm very easy to find, very easy to get in touch with. I have an open door policy and I want to continue that.
Once elected, what will be your priorities in the next legislative sessions? What bills or legislation would you like to present or see revised?
Yeah, always property tax reform and relief is always going to be at the top of the list. I was the author and lead negotiator for the largest property tax cut in the United States history last legislative session in 2023. That was an $18 billion package that after a regular session and then 2 special sessions, I was tapped to be the lead negotiator for the Texas House. I have a wonderful working relationship with the Texas Senate, and I appreciate our relationship that we have there, able to get things through the cross finish line to the governor's desk. But I will continue to push for that. Appraisal reform, I believe our homeowners and commercial property owners need predictability. You work very hard for your paycheck. You need to keep as much money at home for you and your families. But right now, the appraisal system is not predictable on what your property taxes are going to be. We have to have it predictable. What do I mean by that? We have to have property tax caps, on our property appraisal caps on our homesteads and also commercial property. Currently, it's 10% cap on our homesteads. I want to lower that. I want to get a cap on commercial property taxes as well, something I put in my legislation whenever we did the big tax cut, but that was only for a certain period of time. I want to extend that. I want to continue to back the blue, obviously, support our local law enforcement. Water infrastructure is huge for our community. Road infrastructure is huge for our community. I want to continue to be an advocate for Montgomery County at the Texas legislature, and I believe I do that. Every time I come into the office after the floor of the session or in committee, I go into my office and say, what did we do today to bring home the bacon for our community? I've got a record of bringing home results, bringing home the bacon to our community, and I'm proud to do it.
Thank you, sir. The floor is yours for a closing statement.
Well, thank you all again for having me tonight. My door is always open, have an open door policy. Thank you all for what you do for our community. I'm super proud of the current law enforcement endorsements that I have, also other endorsements that I have outside of law enforcement, and I hope that I earned your support here tonight. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. My name is John Bouche. I'm running for Texas House District 16. I am a 40-year resident of the state of Texas, but half of that time's right here in Montgomery County. I graduated from Sam Houston State University in 1990 with a degree in law enforcement and police science. Spent the next 20 years in the private sector, International Association of Credit Card Investigators, which later became the International Association of Financial Crimes Investigators. I was a member of that, but I worked in the private sector for various companies. As an internal investigator, trained in interview interrogation techniques, so I've done a lot of that. My wife Janine and I have been married for 38 years, raised our kids here in Montgomery County. She is a interpreter for the deaf, and I'm running for the Texas State House right now. I'm the 3-time Vice Chairman of the Republican Party, 2019 Volunteer of the Year for the Republican Party of Texas, the Senatorial District, and I currently serve as the Vice President of the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District.
The first question is, what professional experiences have prepared you for this position?
Everything I just named. A lot of political involvement, a lot of testifying, going to Austin, working closely with Steve Toth, Brandon Creighton. I've done a lot of that stuff in the private sector. I've had to, do payroll and balance, P&Ls and all that fun stuff. So I'm a businessman. I'm a realtor also. So I think I have a lot of experience that lends itself well to this position.
Once elected, what goals do you have that will assist law enforcement?
Well, to assist law enforcement, I mean, I think, the Sharia law thing is a really huge thing here in Texas right now. It's a real pressing emergency for us. You guys are going to be the ones forced to go in and enforce the law when they're trying to enforce Sharia law. I think that's a really dangerous thing. Our border is a problem here, has been a problem here. I think we need to secure the border, give law enforcement the resources it needs to do that. And, look, safety, the mental wellness of police officers has always been a problem. And I'm really concerned about those things. So I will be an advocate for law enforcement in Austin.
Once elected, what will be your priorities for the next legislative session? What bills or legislation would you like to present or see revised?
Well, I would like to take steps towards eliminating property taxes in Texas. I think it's wrong that we rent our houses from the government. I don't think that's going to be done in one session. I think it's going to take time. I think a great solution to begin with, at least, would be to introduce legislation to end property taxes when people reach a certain age. At least you're working towards something. I do think there's a way to do this. I hear people say, well, there's no way to displace that $81 billion, but I think there is. So that'd be a big one. Border security, improve education, and reduce with an eye on eventually eliminating property taxes.
You have campaigned on ending asset forfeiture and warrantless searches. Do you still stand by that? And what is your position on that?
Well, with the proliferation of AI and technology being what it is, I do have some concerns about that. 1968 is the first time we introduced the idea of reasonable suspicion. The Fourth Amendment's pretty clear about you need to have probable cause and a warrant. I do know there's exigent circumstances, and I talked to Brett Ligon about this extensively. And I do think it's a problem right now with warrantless searches. I mean, how do you balance your Fourth Amendment rights and your Fourth Amendment rights with warrantless searches and even civil asset forfeiture? And that's a challenge. And I'm willing to work with law enforcement and to figure out the right way to do that. Because look, confidence in the community and policing is an important thing to you guys doing your job. And if people feel like the police are overreaching or unfair or unjust, that makes it a lot harder for police agencies to do their job. And so I want to make sure that we're working towards cooperative relationships in policing and with the community.
Mr. Boucher, the floor is yours for your closing statement.
Oh, well, thank you guys for having me. Again, I've always been a big supporter of law enforcement. I've worked very closely with law enforcement. I was a member of the task force that we used to call the Nigerian task force. You can't call it that anymore, but I worked with the Secret Service and the Houston Police and the postal inspectors to track down fraud. I got the scars to prove that I've been involved in law enforcement for a long time. Never officially with an agency, but worked very close hand in hand with you guys. I will be an advocate for you in Austin. I will always err on the side of law enforcement, and I would appreciate your support.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you guys. Thank you for all you do.